Scott, how's it going?
What's going on, buddy?
Not much, man. Nothing much. Cold and rainy today, huh?
You know, it's just like Pat Hammer said the other day. What is it with weekends? Every weekend's terrible around here.
Windy. And the wind's coming tonight again. 50-mile-an-hour wind.
Well, this week it was sun. It was cold, but the sun was shining. It was at least put a pep in your step, you know?
Yeah.
Now we're back to the misery and the gray and the bullshit.
Yeah, I'm exhausted. Yeah. I was outside for about probably 4 hours, I think, today with the other podcast. I was outside filming stuff.
I felt for you.
It was coming down good, man. It was coming down really good. And I didn't you know what, though? I thought it was going to be in the 50s today because one of them said it'll be rainy and stuff, but a little bit warmer. It was only 38 in Lockport, at least.
Wow, that's it, huh?
Yeah, 41 maybe.
I wasn't really paying attention to the temperature myself.
Yeah, it was. So anyhow, you know, there was something I wanted to bring up with you, and it was.
Just want to apologize to everybody. Just so you know, I have a very bad case of chronic hiccups.
That's horrible.
And they're going to be going through the whole show. I will do my best to control them as best as I can, but yeah. I have them for a couple days. They won't go away. So.
Oh my God.
It's twice a year. This is my usual time. So what's up, Chris?
Man, that's got to be. Does it ever go long? How long does it go? A full day?
The most I've ever had, every time, if I ever get the hiccups, it's always at least 2 days.
Oh.
I'll pick up in my sleep.
In your sleep. How about that? Robin's here too, by the way.
Terrible. Hey, Robin.
Hey, Scott.
Oh, my
God. I went to the hospital once because I had them for 3 days, and my chest was in so much pain. I said, I got to do something. They've got to be able to help me. And I went in, and they were like, you've had the hiccups for, the doctor was like, you've had the hiccups for how long? I'm like, this is like the 3rd day. He's like, that's not healthy, man. Right. He goes, I'm going to get you something right now. We're going to get rid of them. And he came back in with a needle, dude. As soon as I saw that needle, it scared the shit out of me. They were gone.
Is there anything you could take or no?
I guess it was going to give me something. I was looking online. I've never really gone to a doctor for it because it's like twice a year it happens.
Right.
But when it happens, I played in a band. I had to cancel a gig once.
I can imagine. Yeah.
I couldn't sing. I couldn't stop hiccuping.
Oh my God.
People didn't like that excuse too much, but.
Oh, I think about the hiccups. We all had them. Oh my God. How many tricks you tried to do to get rid of them and all that shit.
I was outside my practice room while the guys were loading equipment, standing on my head with my feet against the wall, drinking water upside down.
Yeah.
I would go over to the store and get a bunch of sugar packets. I'd eat a spoonful of sugar. I did everything I could do, and nothing ever worked.
Oh, I feel bad.
Enough of my misery. Enough of my misery. Let's get on with everybody else's.
Well, here's the first thing I want to talk about before we get going. Major League Baseball started, right? So we kicked it off yesterday. The 161 games left. Did you see the new rule changes at all?
A couple.
Now, from what I understood, the rule changes have taken off about, someone said like 20-some minutes. 26 minutes off of the end of a game, which is probably pretty good, I guess, because people do say baseball's too long. So, right. 26 minutes.
That's off. A lot, man.
Yeah. It is a lot. I just got stunned by something I was reading. First thing they did. First thing? Nah, I don't know what the hell I'm reading. Oh, it was John. That's who that was. Hold on.
Did you agree with that, John?
What's that?
Do you like the whole pitch clock? I mean, that's what's caused most of the time to decrease.
I don't mind the pitch clock.
That would make me watch baseball.
I don't mind the pitch clock thing. I looked it up. You get 30 seconds between batters. After the pitcher receives the ball, they must start within 15 seconds if the bases are empty. If there's runners on, they get 20 seconds before they would have to I guess throw a pitch.
If the batter also trigger something, if the batter gets in his position, it triggers the clock or something.
The clock to go. Yep. And then if you don't, it's an automatic ball. The umpire just starts calling, balls. So that's the penalty for that.
Did it happen to anybody yesterday?
No, I did not see it happen to anyone. I know they did it all in the preseason. It seems like everyone's getting along with it. You know what I mean? Seems like
it really just got rid of wasted time.
Oh, it did happen? Who did it happen to, John? John, who did it happen to yesterday? Do you know? In the message board, was saying it did happen yesterday. I'm not positive. I didn't think it did. I didn't hear anything, but I didn't.
Blown it up and made a point of talking about it.
Yeah. So that's one of the rule changes. Another one that's kind of good is the defensive shifts. I don't know. In the past, they were putting, you have your shortstop, your second baseman, your first baseman, your third baseman, obviously pitcher, catcher, right field, center field, left field. Well, sometimes they were putting the second baseman out into like left center field, and they would just play 3 infielders. Yeah, they were. Sometimes they would put 5 people in the infield, all on one side, or they would just and leave the whole left side open.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah, they've been doing this for a while. They've been doing this for a while now. The Tampa Bay Rays were the first ones to start it. It's just like wild shifting. Like they'll take it the third baseman and shortstop and put them all the way.
Is it just because they know that batter generally always hits that direction? That's why they can easily do it, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Especially like power hitters. They play someone in shallow center field like you would in softball. Well, now they banned that. You can't do it anymore. You must have 4 players in the infield with 2 always on either side of second base. So you can't load up 3 on one side or anything like that anymore. So and of course you can only have 3 outfield now. It's kind of,
I'm stopping you step by step because I want to see your reaction to how it played out yesterday with these. Because you watch it, I don't really watch. I bet on it, but I don't watch it.
Real quick, John said the Mets game did have that issue with the pitch clock. Thanks, John. I don't, you know what it is? I'd always like, for example, let's say Aaron Judge. He comes up to the bat. No, let's not go with him. Let's go with, let's go back in time. Let's go with like Jose Canseco. He's batting right-handed. He's jetting, 8 times out of 10, he's hitting the ball to third base, shortstop, left, he's pulling the ball. Mm-hmm. So then they would take the second baseman and just put him over at shortstop or put him right behind second base. The shortstop, the third baseman, just doing all that.
In case he missed it.
Yeah, get the right fielder and put him into shallow left field, things like that. And I always looked at the opening on the other side and thought, why can't they just go the other way? Hell, you could even just push bunt it there, and you're.
I was wondering, don't they have the ability to direct the ball at all?
A lot of them do. A lot of them do, but I think in the name of trying to get more runs scored and excitement, they want to stop because like when I was a kid, they didn't shift. They just didn't do it.
I've never seen it. I've honestly, I don't watch that much, but I've never even seen a highlight of it on television or anything.
Oh yeah, you should check it out sometimes. It's wild if you ever look back online to see how Tampa would sometimes have 5 infielders and only 2 outfielders. They would just do all kinds of crazy shit. And it started to make me feel like, well, just learn how to hit differently and all that. But the Major League Baseball is on such a, and they're probably getting scared.
They need leadership's down so much.
Maybe, but they keep spending money like crazy, so it can't be too bad.
What's the attendance been like at the parks? Has it dipped? Well, I mean, it's going to be hard to tell because of COVID. I mean, is that the reason? Yeah. The reason they're hurting just because COVID happened? I mean, everybody is.
It probably is a little, but then you look at the contracts that they're handing out. They can't be. They're talking about when Ohtani next year is going to be like a $65 million man.
I heard that.
So I mean,
it's going to get he's like one of the greatest, unbelievable players to play, right? Like what he's doing.
Yeah.
Isn't it totally unprecedented, really?
Babe Ruth, pretty much. Just like Babe Ruth,
Who was the last player that was even remotely close to that?
No.
Anybody?
No, really? I don't know any. I mean, there'd be some pitchers that could hit, but that would be in the National League when they used to pitch, and they used to hit. And you'd have guys that were decent.
1 or 2 in a lifetime kind of a player?
But I've never seen this before. We've never seen it in our lifetime.
Oh, that he bats so well and pitches so well?
Yeah, to the point he pitches the days he's not pitching, he's playing right field.
I wonder why that is. Is it just because coming up those guys were just such good pitchers that they just were never even bothered? Was it different in Japan where he played? Was something different where what I'm saying, where it allowed him to do that?
And he's the only one, even from there. That's the thing.
It's not something commonly that they do over there.
No, I don't think so. Here in the United States, it always was pitchers don't hit. I mean, except
I'm wondering how did it even happen?
I know.
How did it even come to be? Like, who recognized that this guy was so great that he should do both?
That's a great question.
Take him with the pitch and just separate him from batting and everything altogether, right? Just concentrate on throwing the ball.
Right. That's normally what would happen. Because you know what?
That's weird, right?
The guy's name is remember Ankiel?
Yeah, Rick Ankiel.
Rick Ankiel. He was a really good center fielder, got hurt, and then decided to start pitching, remember?
Yes.
But he didn't do them both at the same time. And he certainly wasn't as good as Ohtani is.
Yeah, this dude, just everything he does, he's just the best at.
Yeah, I mean, he's batting over 300. He'll hit 30 home runs, 90 RBIs, and still strike out 100 guys. And
that is unbelievable.
Yeah, so he's
crazy.
He's going to make a fortune. And so they're not hurting that bad, I guess. But I think they just know that as time goes on, this is my opinion, as people my age and your age and a little bit older pass away, or you got to get the younger people in. And I guess you can't get them in when games, like John said,
things that are drawing their attention away from it in the first place.
Yeah, because they're all
is a major handicap to sports, big time. Just because it just takes these kids at a young age away from it.
Mm-hmm.
We don't see kids playing sports in the roads anymore.
Right,
grabbing up friends and having a throw together game at the park like we used to do. I don't ever see that shit anymore. Ever, rarely ever. I mean, we got enough snow on the road to play tackle football in the street, so you didn't have to go to a park. I mean, so that to me, I think that's probably a big effect on a lot of. And baseball's not the. I mean, I know it's America's sport, but viewership. There's not a lot of action, and that's what people want nowadays.
That's like football and basketball are just the thing.
It gives you that. Every play there's a hit in football, so you know what I mean. So it's giving people that gratification they want.
And baseball, hockey has it, but Americans just. I mean, parts of America get it, but other parts just don't. And it's not easy to play. You know what I mean? It's not easy.
Patience, really.
Yeah, and it's not easy to. Hockey, well, yeah, you got a lot of things that the offsides and the icing and all that stuff, but also I just don't think it's easy for kids to play. It's expensive. It's an expensive sport to.
Oh, yeah. That's the number one thing that makes kids not play it.
Definitely, yeah, just really expensive. The next thing they did was they made the bases bigger. The bases went from 15 inches to 18 inches.
I saw that earlier in the year because I saw an interview with a player who was a big base stealing guy. Don't remember who he was. It was on the Today Show or something like that. It might have been that they were interviewing him and he was talking about it.
Now, I know that they said it was for safety reasons, which I get a little bit at first base, because sometimes at first base there's collisions.
Guys running into each other?
Yeah, so that was part, right, Robin? Is that part of what they said?
Did it happen?
When it happens, it's always catastrophic. Yeah. The first baseman always busts his arm or something because he's stretching. But that's what he's stretching for the ball, and he gets in the way, and the guy blows him over. And
so they think how much did they add to it? How big did it go up?
It's 3 inches.
3 inches.
3 inches is the size.
That's a pretty decent amount.
It is, because they were talking about how it cuts off, because it used to be 90 feet in between, and obviously it's 3 inches. It means something, though. Stealing bases, it's got to help.
I don't know how it can't.
Because you get that extra thing. You just get that extra.
Absolutely. He gave the base, whoever the second baseman is or third baseman, whoever gets it as well. But the runners really want to benefit from it.
Absolutely. And they wear that that thing on their hand. They always have that big, it's that sliding pad thing. And it looks like a what is like an oven mitt. It's just something to protect your fingers, because I guess, guys getting stepped on or something like that.
Or jammed.
But it seems like it extends, doesn't it? It has a look to it that it gives you about this much. Yeah. Can you imagine we made it bigger? Yeah. I know. Like Gadget. Whatever the fuck that guy was. Inspector Gadget. This I found interesting. Replays, faster replay reviews. Managers will have 15 seconds after alerting the umpire of a challenge to make sure they're going to do it or not. That kind of thing, where they just can't keep looking at it. And all
15 seconds, think about it.
Yeah, that's it. 15 seconds.
Did they use it at all yesterday? Did you know of anybody using it?
I bet you they did. They had.
I'm going to ask you every one of these you can just tell us if they did.
I'm going to, even though I didn't see it in the game I watched, I'm sure they did somewhere. They had. That's always seems to be used all the time. This is something that I don't even know if you might know about this. Do you see how I don't like this, by the way. Catchers and pitchers forever would give signals.
Right.
And if you're on second base, you could steal the signals, which was always kind of cool, I thought, because that's not bad. That's not like you're cheating. It's just
part of the game. You're Yeah, it is.
Well, now catchers wear a wristband device that relays the signals they want to the pitcher who has a device in their hat. So you just basically are told what the pitch is. And now the pitcher also, if the pitcher wants to be the one who calls the games, because some pitchers call their own game, they do the opposite, and the catcher can hear what the pitch is going to be. So I guess the days of stealing signs are over.
Yeah.
And that kind of sad. I think kind of sucks. That was gamemanship. That would
Yeah,
cause fights. That would cause great fights.
Shitty. They should have never did that.
That used to cause
That's
fights.
part of the game, man. Like, they should have never done that. I don't agree with that.
I don't like that one. This is the worst of them all, is the ghost runner on second base.
Huh?
And in the 10th inning, when you get to extra innings, every team starts with a man on second base.
I hate
Why?
Because they want it to go faster. They were so happy that last year only one game went more than 15 innings. And
How long is the average baseball game?
in the past, I would say 3 hours. Robin,
Yeah.
when you say give it
They-
three,
I guess
They
I-
said it was 3 hours and one.
but how much harder? That's not much more than a football game. Football
But
games
the
go.
problem is then it's like you've got to, if you really like this team, sometimes you're going to have to dedicate like every day
Absolutely.
watching a football game. That's
You're
a
right.
lot of time. That's a lot of time to dedicate to.
And that's
to
the
You know
problem.
what I mean?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? That's why I don't do it. It's too much and they're too long. So I don't
And
watch
that's-
baseball.
And that's America. That's what people say. Exactly what you're saying. It's an acquired taste. And
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, we love it here, but it's an acquired taste,
It
though.
is.
It really is.
I mean, I never really cared that much for baseball growing up. I was always completely drawn to football.
Yeah.
That was what I loved.
Well, it's like our I bring up our kid, our son there. He didn't like it.
Yeah.
He played Little League, but he didn't like it. He doesn't watch it. He's
No.
not drawn to baseball
Yeah, I
whatsoever.
played it for 3-4 years because my parents were like, "Do you like baseball?" Nope. Well, you're playing it anyway. Sorry about it.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. Thank you. Thanks for my options.
So, but think about this though. If you're in football and we go to overtime in the NFL, and here, I don't know. I don't even know what the equivalent would be to something that wacky,
Right.
to a ghost runner on second. Do you know what I mean? How pissed off? Or, I mean, someone's going to lose a division because of a ghost runner.
What do you do? Let the wide receiver start 5 yards from the line of
Right.
scrimmage?
That's
I mean,
what it
that's,
sounds
like,
like.
that's pretty much almost like what it is, right?
Maybe you got to count Mississippi before you rush. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something crazy. So you have that rule that I hate. Now the NHL is kind of stupid. They got something similar to a ghost runner in my mind. When you go to overtime and play 3-on-3 hockey, it's no longer hockey, and then
Yeah.
you play a shootout. And so baseball and hockey have gone the same route. Football and basketball have at least kept some integrity to overtime. I think basketball's overtime is exactly the
But
same.
Football keeps putting their finger into it. But, they
A
keep
little.
meddling around with it. But which the last one I understand, everybody blames Buffalo for that when it was Kansas City were the ones that initiated it in the first place. I mean,
Correct.
Buffalo didn't even they never even made a complaint about it again. The rule change got blamed on them.
That started with Kansas City. That's right. I can't remember who they were playing.
Sorry, our quarterback's so good, people wanted to see him keep playing. That's really what it was about.
Right.
How
Right.
good both the quarterbacks were playing, and everybody didn't want the game to ever end.
Yeah. No, that's true. I didn't want it. You didn't want it to end
Yeah.
because it
It was
was.
unbelievable. It was great. It was a fun game, man.
Yeah, that was back to the old times. That was your, whatever you want to have, Marino Elway,
I
whatever.
was just gonna say like a Marino versus Moon game or some
Yeah.
shit like that.
You never, yeah. No, that was great. It was unbelievable. And so Major League Baseball has those changes. I guess the only one I really, 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 even the pitch, if you had to ask me, I would say, okay, you guys do the thing with the signs, but take the ghost runner away. Look, it's still baseball. There's no way to stop extra innings. I don't know what you do. I mean, it's the way the game is. You would have to almost really.
I guess
overhaul.
it's just the way the game is played. It's kind of a game of patience in the first place.
Yeah.
So there's no way to make it more up tempo when it goes into extra innings. There's nothing you can do. It's just going to continue the way it normally goes. There's no way to shorten it where like say like football could play half a quarter or something. You know what I mean? And so it's like, I guess, what do they play in football? 5 minutes?
It might be 5. Is it, Robin?
I guess it's because there's no
10?
finality to baseball until somebody wins.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. But if you're a fan of this stuff, it's got to be. That was always the excitement. If I'm a Yankees fan, let's say they're playing the Blue Jays, that extra innings was the exciting part. Like that was
the longest game. What's the longest game that's ever? I don't believe it was that long ago, right?
Might have been 21 innings. Might have had a 21 inning game, I believe.
So that's probably what, 7 or 8 hours of baseball?
Oh yeah, yes. We went to me and Robin went to go see the Cleveland Guardians play the Yankees, and it was a doubleheader. The first game of the doubleheader ended normal. The second game of the doubleheader went 16 innings. We started at 1 o'clock. I don't think we left there till 10.
No.
We were there all day long. Now we loved it.
Great.
Now we loved it,
Yeah,
but
you loved it. Me, I'd be like, oh my God.
People left.
I'd be finding something to hang myself from.
Yeah,
Get me out of here.
We were alone, remember?
Yeah.
We ended up being alone in our area. People were
Stadium.
Yeah. We were alone, and we were sitting out in left right field.
Yeah.
And they were going. I mean, but yeah, that was cool to me. But also, I'm on vacation, so that makes it fun too. I would go.
That's still a long goddamn day.
It is. It did take
your money's worth. Shit.
Yeah, it did take. It does knock out some of what you wanted to do, obviously, but it was cool though. It was fun.
It only knocks out a little bit, right?
All the rule changes. When it comes to baseball, I'm such a traditionalist.
But you're more than I am. I think.
But the Ghost Runner one is that's just nuts to me.
Yeah, that's.
Do you think it'll last?
I can't believe it lasted this long. I thought it was gone.
Last year?
They had it last year. Was last year the first year? Or is this the second? This might be year 3 of this crap.
Year 3.
Because it really started with
really
COVID.
Thrown a bitch fit about it and said, like, this thing's got to be done. Like,
I hear fans saying it all the time. I can't wait for the first team to lose, a division, or they don't make the playoffs because of the Ghost Runner. That'll be fun.
That's what I mean. I can't believe nothing happened.
When that happens, then there's going to be crying, especially depending on what team it is.
Yeah.
Let it be the Yankees, Red Sox.
Could you imagine losing to fucking Casper?
I know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know how mad I would be if I was a baseball player and your season ends because of that stupid shit?
It's so fucking dumb. I can't stand it. But anyhow, so that is the baseball changes. Robin, I know we're going kind of quick, but we got to get to football. There's some football questions I want to ask you, but I want to get through some of these other stuff. Robin, you had something for me and Scott. What was it?
Yeah, let me go with the NBA question I have first. As we're coming down the stretch here, heading to the playoffs in the NBA, I mean, I think everybody sees that star players are consistently not playing. What do you guys think of that from a perspective of the fan, and also from somebody that buys a ticket to go to the game?
Well, first thing I'm going to say is, sadly, sometimes you don't know ahead of time. If I could know ahead of time, then maybe I would be able to choose wisely on a game I'm going to go to, I guess. Because, it is hard. If I'm going to go you're going to go see the Lakers, and all of a sudden LeBron and Anthony Davis aren't playing, it's like, oh my God.
Right.
What is this? I don't know what to say. Like, they take it too far. They definitely do. The NBA have taken load management way too far, I think, Scott. I mean,
there's no doubt about it. I would say if the player's known not to be playing for, let's say, an extended period of time, ticket prices should be lowered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For those games, right? You're paying for the experience to see that guy play. Perfect example, Ja Morant. How many people are running to see Memphis if he isn't playing?
I know. Absolutely.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm just saying they said the teams should consider doing. I mean, I know they won't, but it's something that would show.
Well,
all the other players on the team would take offense. I'm sure something like that. They'd look at it like a slap in the face or something, even though it's not meant to be. But
right. What, Robin?
I can give you a perfect example, and obviously you'll know this one. When our son's a big fan of Devin Booker from the Phoenix Suns, and we went to Cleveland and took him to a Phoenix Suns game
a long time ago.
Yeah. Both teams were terrible. But anyways, if we had made that trip and spent that money on tickets and Devin Booker hadn't played in that game.
Oh, that'd have been a disaster.
Yeah. And how many people, I mean, these games, like, they just take them for granted, I feel like. And people spent, with the ticket prices these days, people save up to take their kids or
themselves,
to go themselves to a game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, I do mine in four. I do the 4 payment thing with all the tickets I get.
Yeah.
When I go to those Bills games, those tickets are expensive the whole day with me and my daughter, right?
Yeah.
So the tickets, parking, and just being able to eat and drink anything, that is right there is absolutely minimum $350 bucks, no doubt. Yeah. Absolutely no doubt. Every time we went, between the two of us together, it cost us total probably $350 a week. I mean, I probably won't go to as many this year because I spent a lot, and then I was getting drunk and buying shit while I was there, and I spent more money than I should have. But for sure, if I went there and I spent all that money and I walked in the stadium and they never said anything and Josh Allen wasn't playing, but fucking I don't know, one of those other guys were.
Yeah, you're pissed.
I'd be pissed.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even go. Like me and my daughter had tickets to a game, and I said the one game, it was last year, and I said I don't think some of the starters are going to play. I don't want to go.
Right.
So right there's a perfect example of it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's no different though, because there's so many games and they're so expensive.
John spent $1,800 this year for season tickets to the Bills.
Wow.
Yeah, they went up. Yeah, they went up. We're probably going to go. I'm sure they're going to go up again.
No, yeah, once the new stadium and everything coming.
So
will they have to do that? Will they have to do those licenses?
1,800 isn't actually bad. That's not that bad. You get a parking spot with that, John?
Well,
entrance into the lot, I guess. You don't get charged.
Here's something that I find interesting. The NHL and NBA mirror each other. They both play. One plays 80, one plays 82 games.
Right.
So it's very similar. They're at the same time. They're doing the same stuff all the time. And I don't see the NHL players taking that load management, which I could, as a Maple Leafs fan, they've been playing Tampa since Thanksgiving. So to me, he does. John said, yes, he does.
Okay.
I would
notice it's not bad.
Would I be mad if Austin Matthews sat out? No, because I'm home.
Right.
But see, I'm a different animal. I'm totally different because I'll go to that game and be fine if Austin Matthews doesn't play.
Right.
I'm good. But I can understand why people would be upset.
Okay, question now.
Yeah.
How much time compared to the start? Okay, how much time does he play in a game compared to Devin Booker?
Good question. You know what? The basketball player must play more.
Basketball, but they are constantly running.
At least 30 minutes, probably, right? Yeah. 28.
They're always running around.
Yeah.
I know hockey is too, but you can kind of glide. Or through the course of a game, if you're not really having to do that part of it, you know what I mean? So I'm thinking, I'm going to say basketball is probably the more tiring sport out of all of them.
Probably.
Football. But out of those two, I would say basketball. Load management, I guess I can understand it more on that. They're always jumping and their knees. I'm thinking the overall life of the player. So I get it. But ticket prices should be lowered and fans should be aware when they're doing it.
And some of it is so obnoxious, though. Like you're talking.
We talked about it.
Yeah, 15 games.
Right.
Kyrie Irving.
That was a minimally sprained ankle with Kevin Durant. It might have been a bad sprain. Dude, if you put your foot up and are off of it, he getting the treatment that he gets, and it took him that long to come back, come on.
It's got to be a business decision by the team to say, what's
really?
The point?
He missed what? What the dude missed, like a month?
I think 15 games or something.
He missed a lot of time, man. And I was shocked. I was shocked that he didn't. I mean, I knew he wasn't going to play because I saw it when he did it. But
perfect example is Ryan O'Reilly for Toronto. He broke his finger, and it takes 4 to 6 weeks. So, and I think he had to put a pin in there. So it's 4 to 6 weeks. He's almost on track. He'll probably play next week. He's in time for the playoffs. But do I think they kind of hold him back now? I do, Robin. I don't know what you think. I think they're holding him back. I think they've held him back the last couple. but he'll be ready to go.
Sure. Oh, I guarantee that's why. Yeah, I guarantee it, buddy.
I mean, giving a guy a couple extra days on an injury when you're coming down the stretch, I get. Taking 15 days off, I wonder, and what do you guys think of this? I mean, from a player's perspective, then, how does that affect your play if you're sitting for 15 games?
You got to look at that. You got to be curious because it's always the stars that do it.
Right.
So it appears they don't really feel it because they always are star. You know what I mean? They never. It's a good question. I don't know because I've never really looked at it that way. You know, how do they perform when they get back? Right. How long does it take for them to ramp up again?
Right. That's what I mean. Like,
well, look at Kevin Durant.
Oh yeah, yeah, right. You bet him.
Fucking guy. I wanted to break his ankle.
Yeah, I know. We bet on. Yeah.
He scored 2 points in the entire first half of the game.
Yeah. 0 for 6. No, I know.
His over/under was 27.5. I just needed the guy to score 20. He cost me an 8-leg parlay. I wanted to choke him.
And in his return game?
Yeah.
DJ McCollum, his ass. He's lucky I wasn't there.
You've been like Bradley Beal. Yeah.
Bradley Beal.
Yeah.
Bradley Beal his ass, man.
Yeah, poor Bradley.
KD, what's up on my parlay, dog?
Yeah, right.
Before we throw a sneaker at my head or something.
Why don't we do this? Let's take our quick break.
Yeah.
And then come back. I want to talk about name, image, and image, and likeness stuff real quick. And then I got NFL questions. So let's do this real fast. Once I can find the commercials. We'll be back in about a minute and a half.
Digits 988 can save a life. If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, 988 provides connection to free confidential support. There is hope. The Lifeline works. For 24/7 confidential support, just call, text, or chat 988.
Back. Got name, image, and and what is it? License?
Hey. I meant to grab a drink while I was in, and I didn't. One second.
Hey, go grab one. So name, image, and likeness, Rob.
Right.
NIL.
Yeah.
When Scott comes back, he knows about this. But for you out there that don't, and you correct me if I'm wrong, Robin, these are college athletes that can, if their name, image, or likeness, let's say, is being used by the university to sell jerseys or to sell notebook, anything, they get money from that.
Right.
They get a portion of that. If, let's say, they can get a contract for anything, basically, if they want to use their name, image, and license, the name, image, and likeness, even if it was for any kind of, right? Is that the case?
Right.
Like any kind of advertising.
Yeah.
So
if Nike wants to pay Arch Manning, let's say, to wear their cleats, they can
now. All right. I have a list of people real quick, and then I want to tell you then I want to see what Scott thinks, you thinks, everything else.
And then I have a question.
You have a question? Too. Okay, good. First person, top of the list is LeBron James's son at $7.2 million. It appears that he's either going to Ohio State or somewhere. I don't remember the other team. There's another team he's choosing between.
Yeah.
Ohio State and someone else, because he's in high school now, heading to college. He's at $7.2 million he's made in name, image, and likeness. Number 2 is Arch Manning at $3.7 million. He plays for Texas, right? University of Texas.
He will, yeah.
He will be this upcoming year. Peyton Manning's nephew.
Right.
Dude, he's not in college yet.
Not yet. Neither of those 2 top guys are in college yet.
Wow.
Arch is, though. Arch must be in college. He's just waiting for the season.
Okay, a lot of money. This is first year?
He hasn't even played yet.
Right, he hasn't played
college. That's what I mean. First year of college football.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. That's ridiculous, man.
LeBron James's kid is at $7.2 million, and he hasn't even played a.
And a point on that was I heard someone say LeBron's kid is good. He's not LeBron good.
I've heard that.
He's not like LeBron. He's not like that once in a lifetime guy. He's just LeBron's kid.
And I wonder what's going to happen there, because I know, and of course they set everything up and it's so choreographed. He wants
to make everybody think he's the best.
And he wants to play. His father wants to play with him, so that means he's going to make the Lakers draft him.
Well,
I assume. Or what'd you hear about this?
What I heard about that is that they're going to use it like a sweetener for Bronny, and wherever he goes, LeBron will go and play with him.
I heard the same thing.
Bronny.
Hopefully, it'll be the Knicks.
We'll get LeBron.
Yeah, so I think LeBron's going to leave and go with him. It's not going to be
the other way around.
Right.
Colorado University has Deion Sanders as their head coach now, and he got that corner who was supposed to be the best corner in the country.
Yeah.
Travis Hunter, $1.7 million. I remember because Nick Saban was furious about it. And his son is also at $1.5 million. So this is meaning, so when you go recruit, tell me if this is right. We might not know, but I would assume you go there saying, okay, yeah, the University of Colorado is going to use your name, image, and likeness.
Sure.
So do you know what I mean? Like, and able to say,
sure,
here's how much you can expect, type of thing. I guess, because every one of the big schools will use name, image, and likeness now.
Right.
So, go ahead, Rob.
My question for you guys with this is, do you think that players will stay in school longer now because they're making the money?
I like it. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think they'll stay in school longer?
I think that might be a good thing.
Yeah.
Or at least for college sports and for them themselves.
Right.
I think they earn their degrees. At least learn a degree before they leave early or something like that. Because a lot of them, if you watch, a lot of NFL guys leave early. They don't ever go back and finish their degree.
Right.
I mean, I don't know how many do, but I don't hear those stories that often. I think it'll keep kids in college longer. I think that anything that keeps them in school longer and get them to finish their degree is a good thing.
And yeah, I do too. And I don't have a problem with this because I don't. I mean, the money seems large, but they're playing with large, organizations. I mean, these universities are unbelievably huge.
And it's about time because the universities are making tons of money off of these kids.
Yeah, they're like a fountain of money.
Yeah, why shouldn't the kids get some of what, because
especially name, image, and likeness.
Yeah, and
that's something.
Think about Texas. Texas used to be really good, haven't been good in a long time. Now they get Arch Manning. How much you want to bet that Texas gear in general has gone up?
Oh, I'm sure.
Sure, man.
Definitely. Here's a good one though.
Chips is Nick Nolte won't get in trouble anymore. Right? Chips is legal.
Yeah.
Number 3 on this list is Livy Dunn, 3.4 million, LSU gymnast. She's got 11.5 million TikTok followers.
That's why she gets.
Yeah.
Is she like obviously an Olympic? Is she going to be in the Olympics or?
Is she? Okay. Yes.
I would figure as much.
I believe.
I just find that interesting, right? Because it's not a basketball, a quarterback, a football player.
Good for her. Good for women.
That's cool.
Awesome. That makes me happy. That's
That
good.
is $3.4 million. And the other people on the list is like Bo Nix is on here, 1.5 million. Marvin Harrison Jr., 1.3.
How is Bo Nix?
He is a quarterback for Oregon, who used to be quarterback for Auburn, and he transferred to Oregon.
Because of the money?
I think it was even before that. I think it was because he lost his starting job.
A lot of that happened, right?
Yes, definitely. Going for the money. Yeah, that will definitely happen.
College programs. Did any really big quarterbacks and shit leave the schools they were at and go to other schools?
I wonder why, though, they would allow that. Like, no one's leaving Ohio State, probably, or Michigan.
No, it didn't happen. You don't know of anything big like that happened because of it?
No, I think of Justin Fields. He left Georgia because he wasn't going to start. So he went to Ohio State. You know what I mean? A lot of it's because of play.
For financial reasons.
I haven't heard. Have you heard that yet?
No.
I mean, the only way I could see this is going from a small school to a big school.
Yeah.
Because they should all be on the same playing field, I would think. I mean,
when it comes to name, image, and
unless you're Vanderbilt or you're like maybe like this, like Rutgers, but they've got a lot of money though up there in New Jersey. So that's interesting. Good question. Maybe we're going to start seeing that more.
Right.
In some way.
I'll bet you at some point you're going to.
I would. Yeah. Yeah. But I don't know what I think it's all right. I'm good with it. I thought it was funny watching Nick Saban get a little mad about it. But Colorado, they're going to be fun to watch this year. Because I can't imagine what Deion Sanders is going to be like. Well, I saw him for Jackson State, and he was a lunatic. Remember, he fought the other coach almost at
strict, man,
50-yard line. So
you know what? If I was the father of a college football player, and he had the opportunity, I'd want him to teach my kid. He teaches those kids to respect people and respect themselves, and he teaches them self-discipline. He takes it. It's a big part of his whole thing.
I did see that.
He trains a lot of kids in that program that maybe would have never been changed.
And the funny thing is with him, he would have never thought that with how he played. Remember, he wore the big chain with the dollar signs and all that stuff. But
dude, when I heard him talk about what he used to do, that dude had no life.
Right.
He wasn't partying, hanging out, having a good time. Dude, he never had time for that shit. Especially through sports, it was impossible.
No, he was the only thing remember. I forgot. I wish I had have brought it up. I don't have it. But that time at the draft when he was getting drafted, he had the dollar sign on, and he had said something about the backing up the bank truck. It was just great. The shit he was saying was unbelievable.
He had the Jerry curl and shit. Yeah,
so funny. Oh my god. Robin, do you have more on name, image, and likeness that you'd like to say? Anything?
No, that's all I've got on it. I think it's a good thing too, though.
I want to ask Scott. We're going to go to the NFL, and you're the Bills guy here, and I'm going to tell you.
Oh, here we go.
What I think, but then I want to hear what you think because I got it. DeAndre Hopkins. I read what Tim Graham said out of the Athletic, and I don't blame. I'm going to say this. I don't blame the Bills for walking away from that because Arizona, and to their credit too, this guy's he's not that old. Like he's not over the hill. He's injured though sometimes, but he is a pretty dominant guy when he's not. He's pretty good. He's really good actually. And you look at what the Panthers got for McCaffrey. You know what I mean? They're kind of so I could see why they're going big. And they're like, I don't want just a fifth rounder. I want this, that, and the other thing. I don't blame the Bills for not doing it. What do you think?
I don't blame them either. I think another problem in the whole process is DeAndre Hopkins is his own agent.
Oh, again, another guy. Jeez. Yeah.
That's the problem. I don't know, dude. He might even be here right now talking to the Bills because he's in Toronto. Saw that on Twitter. I don't know if that means anything. I think there's a lot of things that happen that we don't know about, but they've got to somehow. The only way this is going to work is they've got to have the Cardinals take on some of that money.
Yeah, especially if they
a tiny bit either, because that contract's ridiculous.
And especially if they want a big shot of, they want a lot of draft picks. I mean, they don't want a fifth.
They're not going to get what they want.
They want a couple number twos, I think for sure.
Not going to happen.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how this worked
I
out.
give up number 3, but I'm not giving up number 2s. No way. I give up a number 3. A number 3. right?
Because
Should be going for a 5th rounder like fucking McCaffrey went for, or whoever else went. What McCaffrey go for? What, no, that was like first rounder.
he went for a lot. I couldn't believe that they did that.
Younger player, different player.
Yeah.
He changed that fucking team completely. DeAndre Hopkins is great, but he's not going to change the team. Like, he's not going to have the impact McCaffrey had.
I see. I agree with that and that's why I'm saying if they want this much, you just walk away from it. The hell of it. You can't.
Right.
You really
No.
can't, you know, right? You can't
contract. Honestly, it's the contract that Hopkins signed.
But because a team like the Bills you could do something a little less than DeAndre Hopkins and it'll work out just fine and it'll be a good step. You see what I'm saying? Like you don't even need that star. You got your star receiver. I'm talking like, and this is just a name, like, and it's not him because he went somewhere else. I don't care. But you think of a guy like DJ Chark or those names,
right?
Type of shit. Or when Allen Robinson was healthy and normal, like
I'm feeling.
Yeah, Adam Thielen, like those little things that you don't need to go.
They're good, but on the downside, maybe in the twilight of their career as opposed to being in the prime. For
you guys, the Bills, I wish Allen Robinson was back to the way he was with the Bears for a little bit. He would be perfect.
He would be.
What do you guys?
What happened to him?
He's there. I think he's available.
What happened in LA, dude? In LA, he literally disappeared.
And I wonder if that was because part of it was because they were just so bad. You know, with Stafford getting knocked out and everything else, and it was just a mess over there. He just had a horrible. I kind of almost felt bad for him because he left Chicago, and I didn't blame him. Chicago sucked.
Right.
Wide receivers in Chicago die usually. So when he got out of there,
right?
What's that?
Bobby Wagner went there and he fucking disappeared.
Yeah. The Rams really killed.
Now he's back with Seattle, and he actually. How about Calais Campbell, dude? He was supposed to come and talk, but he stayed in Atlanta.
Yeah.
With Atlanta.
What's that?
Going back to D-Hop, do you think he just stays in Arizona then?
I think he might be forced to just because of that contract.
I think so. And
if Arizona's not willing to help out on any if they take some of the money on if they take some of the money on themselves from that contract, excuse me, they'll probably be able to move them. But I get they're going to want a higher pick because they're going to want something to somehow come close to replacing him.
Right.
In their minds, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't think he's gonna. I think he's gonna be on the Cardinals, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know if he has a shot. Yeah, and then let's go to our favorite quarterback, Lamar Jackson. And I know you had said, I posted something about possible teams, and you had said on the post on Facebook, you think he's going to end up sitting out the season.
Yep, I guarantee you he does. Watch. I think he's going to stand his ground with this. He's standing his ground, man. He said some stuff there's a lot of stuff that hasn't come out, obviously. That's what he said. It will eventually, but I believe he is absolutely done with the Baltimore Ravens. He said it.
Yeah.
He said it. So if he's not traded, he's not playing this season.
He's not playing.
I think that goodbye to his fans was said it all as far as the future in Baltimore.
I would love to know why they went so hard after that whole agent thing. Because there's a lot of people that have agents that aren't certified.
Because I heard something about that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, what was he involved in? He was also involved in something else.
Right. It was like some kind of wasn't it like furniture or mattress?
I don't know. You know what it is? It was the guy that was the owner, I think, of the that exercise equipment in a box thing.
That's it. Right.
Did you look at the video?
Yes.
Look at
Yeah, if you haven't, look it up.
Dude, what do they want for that?
Right.
What is that, about $300 worth of shit for about $5,000?
That was unbelievable. Yeah, that was unbelievable. So, okay, but I'm just saying, like...
That was absolutely worse than unbelievable. I'm sorry, that old get-up was terrible.
Yeah, it was terrible.
That was a horrible business idea on Lamar Jackson's part.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean...
You want to represent you. It don't look like he's got a lot of good ideas on his hands.
Yeah, no. I don't know what these guys... I get it why they don't like agents, because they take a lot and you got to be careful with what they do. You'd probably want to have one of the major ones, I think.
Right.
You know, Lee Steinberg, whatever they are, all those guys, those different, you know, and because Everyone that doesn't have an agent gets screwed. Although I will say this, Roquan Smith did end up getting paid.
Yeah.
Just by Baltimore.
Yeah.
They did end up giving him the $20 million he wanted.
Yeah.
So I guess he did well on his own, but he wasn't going to stay in Chicago without having an agent, I don't think.
You got a year who he negotiated what are the final year of his contract's $30 million? Who's going to take it? That's not a smart move.
Right. Do you got a question? I thought you were saying something.
I was just going to say that if Lamar plays, he would obviously for Baltimore, he would play on the franchise tag, so that'd be $32.4 million. So you think, Scott, that he's just going to leave that on the table? You think he's just going to walk away from the 32?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to. I think he's going to refuse to play. Because of that tweet, that tells me he has no intention playing under the franchise tag.
Yeah, I thought that too, that tweet said goodbye to Baltimore.
And he's a bullshitter either. Like, he's not a Twitter guy that goes on and talks shit. That's not the demeanor I get out of him. His personality, like the way he lives his life, he doesn't act a certain way. You know what I'm saying? And to have him come out and put that tells me he's done. Because he doesn't usually talk much on Twitter at all.
I agree. Yeah,
he's done. And it'll be interesting to see then what happens the following year.
Right.
What does he get paid then?
Right.
But then he can restrike. He can do a lot of things then.
Right.
When he goes to whatever team, will really woo him on, bring him in and make him feel wanted.
Right.
That'll be interesting then too. And that Aaron Rodgers still has not become a New York Jet yet.
No.
I guess that maybe that waits till the draft.
I read something yesterday that said that it's going to happen before the draft.
You think so?
Uh-huh.
Do we know what any compensation? Have we heard anything like that?
I guess
that's what this is all about.
Yeah, but what do they want? They want a first?
Green Bay walked away from that.
Okay, so they want a couple number twos
in the first because the Jets were not going to part with. What do they got? The 13th pick or something? I think so. I think you're right. Somewhere in there. Yeah, they're in the teens. Yes, Green Bay has walked away from wanting the 13th pick because there was no way the Jets were going to give it up, and that's all I heard.
So you're going to talk about a couple number twos. Oh, I did hear one thing, that if he played or whatever, there was like these milestones. Like if he decided to play in 2024, something became a first-round pick down the road or something.
Sure, as they should.
Yep.
Because you know what's going to happen, John? He's going to do the same goddamn thing next year. The Jets are going to be shitting their pants. The New York media is going to be ripping him apart. And the fans of the Jets are going to lose their shit. And he's going to fuck them and retire. Watch.
He might. Do you think, what does he sign then? A 1 year? What's he got left? I don't even know what his deal is. Do we know? I don't remember. I don't recall.
Dude, do you know that they spent, let me just fucking lay this out right here for you, okay? Because I'm a little upset about this.
Okay.
Greeny.
Oh, yeah.
I am so done with that show. Over that show. How do you sit there and have a legit conversation with that panel deciding who's going to win the AFC East next year, the Jets or the Dolphins?
Oh, geez. Yeah, that's foolish. Yeah, that's...
For 2 days. I watched them talk about it again today. I'm like, this guy, he wants to blow Aaron Rodgers, practically.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. That dude has got issues. But to turn his show into his own, I want the Jet. Let's talk about the Jets all day, every day, and Aaron Rodgers. It's all they talk about on there every single day. That's why another reason I'm like, I can't even listen to this shit no more. But everybody just assumes Aaron Rodgers goes to the Jets. They're in the Super Bowl. They're winning the division. Doesn't matter who else is there.
First off,
collarbone in the first quarter of the first game.
Miami, you don't know who's going to be the quarterback, right? So you got an issue there because of all that, right? You don't know. You don't know how long that guy can
the unhealthiest quarterback in the league.
I mean, right now, how can you not, Robin, look at the division and say it's the Bills' division?
I'm sorry. I don't mean that. He's not the unhealthiest, but the most easily injured.
Right.
Not in the league, but I guess in our division he is, because that guy gets hurt a lot.
How don't you look at that division and say it's the Bills' division until someone else takes it? Like right now, if you want to say who could take it from them, okay, but it's theirs. It's Buffalo's division. I mean, that's just the way it is. I don't care if you like it or not.
Plug in Aaron Rodgers, plug in the AFC East division champs.
Yeah, it sounds just like the whole fucking AFC West last year. Remember, oh my God, the way those people pushed the AFC West, and it was and it was just a terrible, horrible division.
I pushed them. I thought they were going to be the best division in football. I thought it was going to be a meat grinder, man. That they were just going to kick the shit out of each other.
Now, did you guys finally see that Denver has come out and said, no, we're not trying? And I don't trade Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, he found Peyton. Sean Payton said it. I don't know where this comes from. We had a whole thing about I'm not trading them.
That. Why would you?
I know. Yeah, why would you?
Why would you go in there and trade those guys?
Makes no sense.
None. Right. I didn't understand it when I heard it either. It didn't make any sense because I never heard they were unhappy.
I know that it just kept on coming up, and I'm like, what? And then I know the Patriots said, well, of course they would want Jeudy. That'd be perfect for him and Mac Jones get back together. But did you see the thing about DeAndre Hopkins? Who said it to him? Someone tweeted to him, said, "Don't go. You don't want to play for Belichick." God, I wish I could remember what player did that.
Asante Samuel.
Oh, that's it, Asante Samuel. Yeah.
Did you see what What's-Call-It said?
No. Who?
And then it was Matthew Judon.
Okay, what did he say?
He said, "Shush, it's not like that there anymore."
Oh,
something like that. It's changed since then, or it's not like that anymore, or something like that.
They do have an offensive coordinator now. At least Bill O'Brien's there. For them. I mean,
but dude, it's just the same old, same old.
Yeah.
Never brings in anybody with any new ideas.
It's the same guy. Yeah, it's his friends.
It's only the people that he knows. That's all he ever. Dude, look at the staff changes there. They leave. They do shit by themselves. They always come back.
I said it.
Daniel, Matt Patricia, Bill O'Brien. They're just a retread coaches for the Patriots.
Yeah, Robin.
I said it before the start of the season last year that I just think that the NFL has passed Bill Belichick by. I think his time is gone.
He's done a lot of winning. Just go away.
Yeah.
To
be honest, I don't think he's the wizard that everyone would consider him to be because
he didn't have to be.
He didn't have to be.
No.
But I also don't think that the whole step down is the loss of Tom Brady. I do think that it's just he's at a point where he just needs to go.
Well, think about it. His Cleveland days were 500 football.
Right.
I mean, he was it reminds me of Joe Torre.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Torre was a 500 coach with the Cardinals. He comes to the Yankees. Oh my God, this guy's a Hall of Famer now. He's won everything.
Never good till Drew Bledsoe got hurt.
And here comes Tom
Brady took over. Well, he was decent with Drew Bledsoe.
They were good.
Yeah. But he was decent. I'm sorry. This is really exposing Bill Belichick for who Bill Belichick truly is. Yes, he's a defensive mastermind. I'm never going to take that away from him. He's not the god of a head coach that they make him out to be. He's just not. He had the luck of having Tom Brady, who proved by going to Tampa Bay and in his first season winning a fucking Super Bowl.
I know. No, there's no doubt. And Tom Brady had the...
I'm going to say a lot of it was Tom Brady and the way Tom Brady is, that Jordan-esque type shit.
He was like Jeter. He had that Jeter part about Brady.
Mm-hmm.
It was where, yeah, it was
a great marriage between him and Belichick. They made it work, and you had a great coach with a phenomenal fucking quarterback. But if he doesn't have that phenomenal quarterback,
I think the quietness was good too. They both didn't mind to be quiet.
Yeah,
like they both stayed quiet.
Well, and I think part of the reason that they worked so well is because Belichick let Tom Brady do his thing. He let Tom Brady do what Tom Brady does, he
had to. Then they had a good offense coordinator too. McDaniel's there. They had that stuff going on. Yep. There's no doubt though that Tom Brady was he had to be almost 90% of this because look at those wide receivers he would throw to.
Right.
It was anytime those guys went anywhere else, they disappeared.
Yeah.
I mean, Wes Welker and Edelman and all this.
Oh God.
Geez, these guys just weren't
fantasy football nightmares.
We had Troy Brown or whatever his name was, Tony Brown. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Man, cat screaming at us. Hey, you know what I want to do real quick? And I don't even know why I'm doing this. but I'm going to do it. But this might be to save everyone's, just save themselves, because it isn't.
I love that.
Scott,
I laugh
don't
every
have
time
any-
you play that thing. It just, I don't know why. I just laugh.
nice. I don't have
Here we
anything.
go, and here we go.
I don't have anything.
Oh, I got a nice 5-leg parlay for everybody for tonight.
Good.
Still got time to get it in.
Oh, yeah.
First game doesn't start till 7 o'clock. Oh, 7:10. So you got to get it in now. So you ready, folks?
Let's go.
Here you go. You're going to go to the Detroit Houston Rockets game and pick Jaden Ivey to score 15-plus points.
Okay.
You're also going to hit Jaden Ivey to record 4-plus assists. Then you're going to go to Franz Wagner to have over 17.5 points. You're going to jump over to the Atlanta Hawks Brooklyn Nets game, take Clint Capella to record 10-plus rebounds. And then in the Memphis Grizzlies and the Clippers game, John Morant to have over 27.5 points. $10 win you 60. At least it did earlier today when I bet it.
Morant was over 27 and a half or 27. What was Morant?
His over-under was 27.5 when I bet it.
There you go, 27.5. And Capella was what, 10 rebounds? Over 10?
It go down underneath the points to where it says, it'll say 4-plus rebounds, 6-plus rebounds, go down to 10-plus rebounds.
There you go. You got it, Robin?
Got it.
All right,
I
very
got one
good.
more for you, too. I got
Okay,
one more. This comes from my internet guy.
Okay.
It's a parlay. It's Karl Anthony Towns in the Lakers Timberwolves game. Karl Anthony Towns to score 20-plus points and also to record 6-plus rebounds. $20 doubles your money.
Oh, nice. That's a good one. Well, Scott, we're going to give you a break because those hiccups sound like they hurt.
I still got them, buddy.
I know. Through the whole hour.
Wild, I was sitting here, and there's times I'll get like 4 in a row, and I'm like, it's
Yeah,
like I'm having a seizure or something.
Absolutely. If you have a panic attack, I could have anxiety just feeling it for
I
you.
have anxiety just thinking of
No,
it.
I know. It's tough. I'm sorry.
Taggart luck, John. It's the Taggart luck over here. Anything that can go wrong, absolutely will, and when it does, it's the fucking worst.
Yeah, right down the tubes. I understand.
Yeah, we got that
All right,
going over here
understand.
too.
All right, why don't we wrap it up then? Let's let Scott rest. Scott, you'll be back next week on Friday. I'm going to try to grab Micah Jello because playoffs are starting very soon. We'll see.
Yeah. We need to get him in.
Yep.
Need some info, man.
All right, Scott. You take it easy.
You two guys. See ya.
Take it easy, Scott.
Take
Bye,
care,
Rob.
everybody.